What's going on, guys? I hope you're enjoying Tekking's charity stream and are excited for this small video I have prepared for you because it's regarding my favorite One Piece theory. I know the vast majority of people in the community, including Tekking I believe, are not a fan of this theory and think it is a big joke, but I seriously think it is a very well put together theory and is not too far-fetched to consider, especially since this is the One Piece world we are talking about here, and it's not like it would be the first time something like this has happened. If you haven't guessed it already, I'm gonna be talking about the Kaido is a Poneglyph theory. So to start out, if you're not familiar with the premise, pretty much the idea is that Kaido was originally a poneglyph, and most likely a road poneglyph, that ate some kind of zone devil fruit. Probably something along the lines of the giant fruit or oni fruit or something like that that would make him look the way he is as we've seen him up until now. This may seem outrageous at first, but I think there is actually a significant amount of evidence supporting that this could be a very real possibility. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about with a poneglyph eating a devil fruit and how that could be possible, just remember in Alabasta when Mr. 4 brought out his weapon, Lasso, which was a gun that was explained to have eaten the dog fruit, and in Ennie's lobby when we saw Spandam using his sword named Funkfried, which supposedly ate the elephant fruit. It was explained that Vegapunk devised some sort of method for allowing inanimate objects to consume devil fruits and use their powers. So while keeping in mind that it is most certainly possible, let's look at different pieces of the story that could lead us to believe that it could indeed be the case. So the first thing that we learned about him that seemed a little strange and made people start asking questions was when he was first introduced and the narrator referred to him as the strongest creature among all living things. I've checked for error in the translation, but I've found this to be accurate. A lot of people like to say that this could be because A, he is a zone user, so he may not choose to refer to him as a man, or B, he could have eaten a mythical zone, which would make people refer to him more obscurely. I think that both of those are pretty much the same thing and could very well be possible, but I don't think that they dismiss this case or anything. They're just possibilities as well. Regardless, it is definitely something strange that happened that is certainly alluding to something. Another key fact which is quite obvious is that we have confirmed he is in possession of one of the road poneglyphs. It's not like he necessarily has to have the thing under lock or anything like that, he could just be the poneglyph himself. While this is not concrete or anything, I would also like to point out how we were actually shown how Big Mama's poneglyph was locked up, and she explained that Roger was able to steal its contents without actually physically moving it because of his ability to use the voice of all things. It could very well be just because we haven't gotten to Wano yet, but I think it's worth noting that she did not mention him using this ability to collect Kaido's poneglyph, possibly because he would have taken some other kind of measure due to it not being out in the open. This doesn't seem overwhelmingly likely, but it's something to consider. My third point, which is the one that really got me thinking this was a strong possibility, is Kaido's indestructibility of some form, which of course is a property of the poneglyphs. We don't know to exactly what extent it exists, but in some way, shape, or form, he must be indestructible. Once again, in his introduction, the narrator gave us some weird hints to this by saying that despite being captured many times, he was never able to be killed, whether it was from a guillotine shattering, a spear to the chest crumbling, or any other attempt on his life. For some reason, he appeared to be indestructible. There's also the fact that he jumped off a sky island and seemingly took 0 damage. And that's another important point here. If he's trying to kill himself, why would he not just jump into the water? Since he's probably a devil fruit user, he would just sink and drown, and even if he's not, let's be real, he could just keep swimming down until there's no going back. I mean, it's not really that hard to drown yourself if you're committed. In an archipelago-styled world like One Piece, this would be a pretty obvious and easily executable plan, but for whatever reason, that doesn't seem to be the case to him. I would suggest that he is probably not capable of drowning because of his true form being a poneglyph. Not just is it indestructible, but inanimate objects obviously don't breathe. I think his somewhat indestructibility is possibly the most important point for a few reasons, and it mainly has to do with the Kozuki clan's involvement in the story so far. They have been described as the creators of the poneglyphs and have been around for at least 800 years. What is possibly most fascinating about this is that despite claiming they created these indestructible stones, they were somehow able to craft their shape as well as the Poneglyph language into them. For this to be possible, they must be capable of damaging a Poneglyph in one way or another. If Kaido were to be a Poneglyph, this would explain his desire in involving himself with Wano, which would be the place of his origin, and would make sense of why he is specifically targeting the Kozuki clan. Perhaps he believes that they may know something about him or a way that he could damage himself. And that's pretty much all I have to say for how and why Kaido could be a road Poneglyph. With the recent development between him and Big Mom with the ominous conversation they had, I turned towards how there could be something related to Elbaf or the Giants going on, because I think it's possible that Kaido ate the giant fruit and Big Mom has quite a lot going on with Elbaf. But I'm just gonna keep that in mind for the moment, since, you know, it's all pretty much speculatory at this point. I hope I was able to make at least a few people see that while it's not a 100% guaranteed thing or something like that, it's certainly a possibility and nowhere near too far out there for Oda to pull off. I think with how unimportant it's been so far that inanimate objects are able to eat devil fruits, I feel like there's no reason for Oda to just throw that in there, because why not? I think that there has to be a big reason for it, and this could most certainly be it. I would say that out of all the theories about Kaido's origin and devil fruit that I've heard so far, this one is certainly the most convincing and the one I want to be true, because I think it would easily be the one that would enhance the plot the most. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my channel by searching Fronky, F-R-O-N-K-Y, if you want to see more far out there videos and theories from me. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of the stream.